What do you assume their opinion, meaning the Eagles, is of Jalen Hurts?
Well, here's the thing. They have not even entertained the possibility of moving A.J. Brown, which tells me that they might not think Jalen Hurts is as good as we think Jalen Hurts is. It's either that or they don't think the head coach is as good as the record says he is. Because when you look at a wide receiver that has expressed frustration across multiple seasons, a guy that told you that winning a title in the manner that they did last year wasn't good enough for him, has continued to chirp throughout the course of this season, has seemingly been sounding the alarm about the dysfunction that's happening on the offensive side of the ball. You must believe that this guy is necessary in order for your team to get where you want to go. And here's the thing, Ev, based on the talent that they have on that roster, the talent that they have on that offense, if A.J. Brown is insurmountable in terms of removing him from the team and that franchise getting back to a Super Bowl, then you don't think that Jalen Hurts is an elite quarterback. You don't think that he's a top 5 player at the position. It's either that or you don't believe in the head coach being able to find a way with the talent that they do have on that team. It can't be both things. So it seems strange that they'd be willing to tolerate all of this stuff, all of the baggage that comes along with A.J. Brown, whether what he's saying is fair or not. It seems odd that they would continue to tolerate it and have that potentially undermine the season that they're trying to put together.
But is it easier to tolerate it when you're winning, when you're 8-2, you're sitting there atop the NFC? And is it easier to tolerate it after you've already won a Super Bowl and you know that despite tensions and different viewpoints on how this thing should operate, that they can overcome it? Because I think back to Josh Allen and Steph Diggs when there was obviously a tension there. Steph Diggs, they removed from the equation. Josh Allen has an MVP season, but they were at an urgency point, an inflection point where they realized, hey, we have an unbelievable quarterback here. We've got to figure something out. If you're the Eagles, you've already seen success there, and you know how talented A.J. Brown is. The A.J. Browns of the world just don't grow on trees. And even though Howie Roseman can make a deal that's usually advantageous for Philly in any circumstance, you're not going to find a player of his caliber often. And I wonder if they're sitting there saying, yeah, we're fed up. Yeah, maybe we could find a way to move him, but we've seen there be success in the eye of adversity with these parties before.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Smalls, but I actually go the other way. Like, because I did win a championship out of it, I feel like it's easier to move off of him.
You playing with house money?
Yeah, you get the benefit of the doubt, right? We're the champions. They call Howie Roseman the trade father. Yeah. If this continues to be an issue, if the guy days after winning a championship says, yeah, how that happened isn't good enough for me, that's enough. You're already hearing the canary singing in the coal mine. Move off of him. But the fact that they weren't willing to do that leads me to believe that the general manager either doesn't trust the head coach to find a way outside of A.J. Brown, or he doesn't trust the quarterback to find a way outside of A.J. Brown. Either way, the results are the same in terms of having to put up with a lot of questions and guys having to answer for the things that are being said in the media by your star wide receiver. And this is a franchise that has lived this movie once upon a time. They've seen this before in Philadelphia with a wide receiver on a Hall of Fame trajectory coming off of a Super Bowl run and that potentially undermining what the season could be and them trying to get back to the big game. That's why it seems a little bit strange. Now, let me say this, because I know a lot of people are demonizing A.J. Brown. I actually think there is some merit to what he's saying. And I do believe that it could be a scenario where A.J. Brown is sounding an alarm because he doesn't want this year's Eagles team to be last year's Kansas City Chiefs team, winning in a lot of closely contested games, all the while being uneven, especially on the offensive side of the ball, and then getting to the championship rounds and getting boat raced by a team that seems like they're a little bit hungrier, a little more buttoned up, a little more attention to detail. That's the part of this that a lot of people haven't been willing to acknowledge, but that could be the case with these Eagles. Our very own Mike Greenberg said earlier on this week that the Eagles are begging for somebody to beat them. They are playing with fire by playing all of these closely contested games. At some point, your luck in those one-score games runs out. And you're just starting to wonder, will that happen at the most inopportune time for the Eagles? And will A.J. Brown be right all along in terms of his concerns about how this team has been playing?
You know, you make a lot of good points on this show for now many years, 3 years. This may be top of the food chain. Because what you just pointed out is so interesting to me. Because what you just did is eliminate the idea of us as fans and media debating Jalen Hurts' value as it compares to other players and other teams in the league. What you did was basically say to me, and how I'm hearing this and really making me think, is okay, if they think he's great, let's use examples of other teams around the league when they think their quarterback is great. I mean great. And they have someone on the team that would be detracting in maybe some cases from their greatness, whether it be the football or the off-field. What do they do with those players? Tyreek Hill's contract extension was going to become a distraction and a detraction from the Chiefs. What did they do? He's on the Dolphins. No questions asked. Steph Diggs, you mentioned it. Josh Allen, gone. Right? Steph Diggs is gone. Not that Steph Diggs is not great. He's great. He's been great with the Patriots, but gone. The moment that those teams thought someone could get in the way of the greatness of the individual quarterback, they removed the player from the equation. In this specific case, so far, and it can't happen until after the season, they have not. Why? Why? Because they probably think what you just said, which is in order for them to reach that peak level of greatness like they did a year ago, at some point, he may have to be a part of it. Now, what we're also learning is, he being A.J. Brown, what we're also learning is he may not be a part of it every game on every play, but there may be that moment where they're hosting the Rams, and the Rams are up 17-14 late in the game, and they say to Jalen Hurts, we know you're risk averse, we know ball security equals job security, you're not losing your job, chuck it up to him. And that one singular moment, that one singular play, may be enough for them to say, we don't believe in Jalen Hurts enough to not have that option in January.
But I guess my question to you, Ev, is will A.J. Brown be checked out by the time we get to that point? Will he be disengaged? Because there are times throughout the season.
But that's partially on him then.
No, I'm not saying that it's not on him. But there have been times this season where throughout games that A.J. Brown hasn't necessarily finished a route, pulls up a little bit. Think back to the Denver Broncos game. I believe it was in week 4. It was a deep shot, and A.J. Brown stopped running on the route, and Jalen Hurts threw it up. There have been times where that's happened. Now, I don't know if that's a product of effort from A.J. Brown or the quarterback freestyling. Whatever it is, the results haven't been what the Eagles expect them to be. So the question is, with A.J. Brown being so frustrated, will we get to that point in the season where they need him to come through and the player has disengaged? I don't have the answer to that. But
they're rolling the dice on that.
But the longer this drags out, the higher the likelihood that something like that could end up playing out.
It's a fascinating point you're bringing up. And we will actually, it's wild. They gave him a contract, he being Jalen Hurts. They gave him a contract extension. He won a Super Bowl. He took him to another Super Bowl. We'll actually know how good they think he is if they trade A.J. Brown this offseason. Because if they don't trade him this offseason, that means that they do not fully trust the quarterback, which is a wild thing to say. But I think after all of these weeks and months and now years of discussion about this, I think you nailed it. I think that's what it is.
But think about that we're having a conversation about not trusting a quarterback that's been to 2 Super Bowls, won a Super Bowl MVP, and outplayed Patrick Mahomes in both games.
I agree with you.
I'm not saying we're doubting. No, let me be clear about it.
No.
We're not doubting Jalen Hurts. We're not saying we don't trust Jalen Hurts. Right. I still believe Jalen Hurts, top 5, not 5. He proved me wrong. He made me out to be a liar. I will never again disrespect Jalen Hurts.
You're not a liar.
I'm just saying. I said he wasn't a top 10 quarterback, and he absolutely is. He's a top 5 quarterback. Listen, I don't want any more Brand Jordan commercials with me talking about Jalen Hurts ain't a top 10 quarterback. Okay?
I do.
Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback in my eyes. I don't know if the Philadelphia Eagles view him that way.
But even in any other set of circumstances, think about this, that we would be talking about, even hypothesizing that an organization would not trust a quarterback who's been to 2 Super Bowls, won a Super Bowl MVP, and outplayed the greatest quarterback of this generation in both of them. Just on the surface, whether it's us, whether it's them, even having that conversation is crazy.
The team they beat in the Super Bowl last year somehow, some way, feels like they have a must-win regular season game 3 Super Bowl titles into this regime in this era. I'm sorry, what? We will get into that after CC has this about the amazing thing that Disney and ESPN Radio is doing for children this holiday season.
This holiday season, Disney is inspiring fans and families everywhere to make someone's holiday magic, celebrating the joy of giving and the powerful connection people share with Disney during this special time of year. Disney is bringing holiday magic to kids, families, and communities across the globe through meaningful charitable activations, special experiences at Disney parks and resorts, and beloved stories that come to life across our films, series, toys, products, and more. As a part of the celebration, Disney is embarking on a holiday magic tour across the country and around the world, spreading cheer through community events, donations, and moments of joy that make the season brighter for children and families everywhere. You can help make someone's holiday magic by participating in ESPN Radio Toy Drive and making a donation to Toys for Tots. Go to espnradio.yougivegoods.com to donate now.
Hey, this is Rich Eisen. Coming up on Friday's show, my buddy from NFL Network, insider Tom Pelissero's got the whole skinny heading into the bulk of Week 12. The actor Jake Lacy is in studio, plus what's more likely. That's Friday on The Rich Eisen Show on Disney+, the ESPN app, and ESPN Radio.
Hey, it's Kirk Herbstreit. On game day, great prep makes all the difference. Same goes for your pizza. That's why I go with Frigidaire Stone-Baked Pizza Oven. Fresh pizzas go from dough to done in just 2 minutes.
Whether you're throwing a party or squeezing in dinner between plays, this oven delivers hot, crispy, restaurant-quality pizza right from your kitchen. Only from Frigidaire. Game-ready pizza. Get it today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
On the golf tee, it's Skechers World Champions Cup. Watch it live December 4th and 5th on ESPN and ESPN Plus, 12 to 4 p.m. It's PGA Champions Tour golfers from all over the world. Team USA versus Team Europe versus Team International. Watch it live December 4th and 5th on ESPN and ESPN Plus, 12 to 4 p.m. The competition will be tense, but feet will be comfy. Tune in to Skechers World Champions Cup. Final round of golf on Sunday, December 7th on ABC, 1 to 5 p.m.
Running a business? You know that slow phone systems and missed messages cost you opportunities. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, is the #1 business phone system that streamlines communication, helps teams collaborate seamlessly, and respond to customers 24/7 with their AI agent. Join over 90,000 businesses using Quo. Try it free, then get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/ESPN, QUO.com/ESPN. They'll even port your existing numbers for free. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You play for the win, not just on game day, every day. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
This is Marshawn Beast Mode Lynch, and Prize Pick is making sports season even more fun. On Prize Picks, whether you're a football fan, a basketball fan, or a fan of both like me, it always feels good to be right. On Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app.
Download the Prize Picks app today and use code OT to get $50 instantly in site credits after you play your first $5. That's code OT to get $50 in site credits after you play your first $5. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has saved users over $2.5 billion, and their 10 million members save up to $740 a year when they use all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money at rocketmoney.com/gameday. rocketmoney.com/gameday.
Want to win this holiday season? Aura Frames make it effortless, personal, easy, and unforgettable. Upload photos, share videos, and even preload memories before it ships, so your gift feels thoughtful from the moment it's unwrapped. For a limited time, visit auraframes.com and get $45 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frame using promo code SCORE. Don't forget to mention ESPN streaming at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Unsportsmanlike.
The 5-5 Kansas City Chiefs enter Sunday's game against the Colts with a 54% chance to make the playoffs, according to ESPN Analytics.
It's a great opportunity at the end of the day. Like, obviously, we're 5-5, not where we want to be at, but we get to write the rest of this season's story. And it starts this week with the Colts at Arrowhead, and I'm excited for us to go out there and do it.
You know, I think the whole group, you can tell they're well coached, they're well prepared. They got playmakers all over the field, offensively and defensively. A lot of respect for their defense and what they do on defense.
We are Unsportsmanlike here on ESPN Radio. ESPNU. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. Tune in to a college football doubleheader tomorrow. Texas and Arkansas, followed by Tennessee at Florida. Presented by Dr. Pepper. Coverage begins at 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. And, of course, it's not college football season without the delicious taste of an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. And you can get in a Dr. Pepper call-in line at 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776 here on Unsportsmanlike on the Dr. Pepper call-in line. You heard some highlights and some commentary there around the Kansas City Chiefs, who, of course, have won 3 titles with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. They're 5-5 this season. They are on the outside looking in of the postseason right now. The same place the Baltimore Ravens are, and the same place, to be honest, after last night, the Buffalo Bills could be trending. Could be. I'm not predicting that. But Dan Orlovsky came on our show yesterday and kind of illuminated the point of, wait a minute, we could have no Mahomes, no Allen, no Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow in the AFC playoffs, which is wild to think about. And at 5-5, the Kansas City Chiefs are going up against a huge opponent this weekend in the Indianapolis Colts. And here is what Mahomes had to say about being 5-5.
Just like if you were going to like a big divisional game or a playoff game, whatever it is, you just know what's at stake. And so you try to prepare yourself throughout the week and do the little extra stuff so that your mind can be settled on game day, and then you can go out there and just play, knowing that you need to go out there and win the football game. And know we're playing against a really good football team that's playing great football right now. And it's a great opportunity at the end of the day. Like, obviously, we're 5-5, not where we want to be at. But we get to write the rest of this season's story, and it starts this week with the Colts at Arrowhead, and I'm excited for us to go out there and do it.
Colts, of course, are 8-2. Guys, how would you kind of write the story about the state of the Chiefs right now? Where are the Kansas City Chiefs right now?
I'm asking myself the question of whether or not we've seen the peak of the Chiefs dynasty with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. I have to ask the question, right? They're coming off of their 5th Super Bowl appearance. They've got 3 championships on the wall. I mean, Bill Belichick was 59 years old at that same point, where they've gone to 5 Super Bowls and they've won 3. So I'm questioning whether or not Andy Reid, who is, 68 years old, whether or not he's going to have the opportunity to be able to resurrect this Chiefs dynasty in the same way that we saw Belichick and Brady do it once upon a time. And let's keep in mind that Belichick and Brady, when Brady has been fully healthy, never missed the playoffs. It feels like the Kansas City Chiefs very much so are in danger of that this season. And if that ends up being the case, we're asking ourselves, how much runway does this dynastic run with the Kansas City Chiefs actually have left?
Mm-hmm. For me, I still think that they are a formidable team in a lot of ways. If you dive into the numbers, they're top 10 on both sides of the ball in a lot of categories. But it's almost like the magic has dissipated a little bit. Think about the past couple seasons, particularly last year, how many close one-score games the Chiefs won. CC, you know this better than anybody. You're a Super Bowl champion. To win a championship, of course, you need a lot of talent. You need a lot of cohesion, but you also need some luck. And it feels like the Kansas City Chiefs were elite at all of it, but particularly in the luck. They would always find a way to get that bounce or get that call or have things go their way, even when they shouldn't have a lot of times. And this year, it's not bearing itself out that way. The balls aren't bouncing their way. They're not being able to summon that magic consistently. And for them to be sitting there at 5-5 and us to be having the conversation of if they're going to be outside looking in when it comes to the playoff pictures is remarkable.
Here's the thing, Smalls. The Chiefs no longer have that inevitability. We no longer assign that to them. I struggle to give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, think about it. Coming off of a bye week, you lost to the Denver Broncos, a division rival. That almost never happens to Andy Reid. He was 22-4 before last week, coming off of bye weeks, including the postseason, and he lost that game. At the end of the game, Chris Jones talked about, they knew what we were doing defensively, and they had an answer for it. I mean, huge completions for Bo Nix, there was a 3rd and 15 that he converted. There was another 3rd down later on in that drive before setting up the game-winning score. They just had answers to everything that the Kansas City Chiefs were doing on offense, defense, and special teams. I haven't seen a game in recent memory where I could say that the other team from an X's and O's standpoint distinctly beat Andy Reid and his staff. And that's what happened against the Denver Broncos. We've seen the Chiefs play down the competition before, the players not executing. But now on top of that issue, you have the problem of other teams, geared up and prepared to counter everything that the Kansas City Chiefs have been doing from a football philosophy standpoint during the course of this dynastic run. So, yeah, I think the Chiefs are in some real trouble here, and they got an uphill climb this week against the Indianapolis Colts.
So I still believe the Chiefs are inevitable. I still believe the Chiefs do end up in the postseason. I still believe they do end up with a winning record. All of that setup to get here. Is there a chance they only win 7 games total this year? If you don't believe what I just said, think about their schedule. Not to steal your thunder, Smalls, the queen of all NFL schedules.
No, it's tough. It's really tough.
Home against the Colts. That's a loss. Could be lost. At the Cowboys. Texans are now, as CC said, the team you want no part of. Nope. They're going to beat the crap out of you. Chargers. At the Titans is a win. Broncos, another great defense.
On
at
Christmas.
The Raiders, that's a win.
It's Thursday, too, short week.
I mean, 3, you want to... how many wins would you guarantee the Chiefs will get the rest of the way?
I think you got 2 locked in.
And it's
like you're playing spades, 2 and a possible. That Dallas Cowboys game, we'll see how I feel about that after this week when they match up against the Eagles. But, man, there's a chance that the Kansas City Chiefs don't finish with a winning record. It is very much so on the board that they could have a losing season.
That is wild. Wild. All right, we are in Madison, the place that Smalls' head coach used to reside.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's coming into town as the opponent, and we'll be here for it. We will talk to your head coach next on Unsportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance.
Celebrating 30 years of the NBA on ESPN Radio.
All right, it's win or lose. Game 6 for the Bulls. 10 seconds. And with it, of course, the championship. Jordan, 20-footer, head of the key. Good! Chicago by 1.
And we're just getting started. The NBA is on ESPN Radio.
Your fantasy roster is set, the smack talk is heating up, and this season ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing the ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sportsbook for sports fans. Download the app and link your ESPN Bet and ESPN accounts to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Okay, all signed up. Easy. Now let's run payroll. What the? Hey girl, I'm you with more gusto. Nice. Who's that? New social media manager, hired and onboarded with gusto. And spoiler, we're kind of famous now. Wait, we're famous? Oh, well, I'm famous. Payroll, benefits, and HR. Designed and built for small businesses. Choose a future with gusto.
Quick break. Got your fire safety game plan? When it comes to your home, every second matters. That's why we trust Kidde smoke alarms. They're built to respond fast and cut down on false alarms, so you can act with confidence when it counts. And now you can upgrade to over 25% faster smoke detection with Kidde's latest technology. It's more time to react and more peace of mind. That's why Kidde is North America's #1 home fire safety brand. So whether you're upgrading or installing for the first time, go with the alarms that deliver performance when it matters most. Kidde, help protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products based on total household installations as of December 2023.
I like things my way. My coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the Vyvgart Hytrulo prefilled syringe, which contains Efgartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VivGuardMyWay.com. That's VYVGART MyWay.com. And talk to your doctor about VivGuard Hytrulo. Brought to you by Argenix.
You didn't start a business just to keep the lights on. You're here to sell more today than yesterday. You're here to win. Lucky for you, Shopify built the best converting checkout on the planet. Like the just one tapping, ridiculously fast acting, sky-high sales stacking, champion of checkouts. That's the good stuff right there. So if your business is in it to win it, win with Shopify. Start your free trial today at shopify.com/win.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a pepper thing.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here. Wishing you a very happy half-off holiday because right now Mint Mobile is offering you the gift of 50% off unlimited. To be clear, that's half price, not half the service. And Mint is still premium unlimited wireless for a great price. So that means a half day. Yeah? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Just like in sports, businesses succeed when you add the right free agent. With Robert Half's specialized recruiter's experience, combined with their award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Learn more at roberthalf.com/talent.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check if they're going for it on 4th down, before going to the concession stand.
Yeah, give me 3 hot dogs, 2 jumbo crisps.
Hey, buddy, you want cheese with those?
Yeah, checking first is smart. No. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Evan, Kenzie, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
We are unsportsmanlike here on ESPN Radio. ESPNU. We are live in Madison, Wisconsin today at ESPN Madison, Illinois. That's your music, obviously. And Wisconsin.
Illinois, let's go.
And Wisconsin tomorrow. We will be there. At Midas, they're rolling out the limited lifetime tire guarantee, included with every tire purchase with paid installation. You'll pay nothing for flat repairs or replacements. Real value with honest service you can count on mile after mile. It's a limited lifetime tire guarantee only at Midas. Smalls, CC back in New York, Smalls and I in Madison. I think it's only right that you introduce our next guest.
Well, I'm so pleased to welcome in the head coach of the 21st ranked team in the country, my football coach, who Evan is jealous of because he has Wisconsin ties. Illinois Fighting Illini head football coach Brett Bielema joining on Sportsmanlike. Friend of the program. Coach has joined us many times. He's always so gracious to give us a few minutes. And ahead of a big matchup for this show, Coach, with me being an Illinois grad and Evan being a Wisconsin grad, we are here in Madison. So welcome to Unsportsmanlike. Thanks for taking the time, as always.
Absolutely. Great to be on. Way to kick my Friday off. We got a busy day today. We travel to Madison tonight, an evening game tomorrow night. Kind of new thing, in the Big Ten, with the new TV contract several years ago. We never used to have night games in November, so kind of an awesome thing for us to venture into and a great opportunity on Saturday night against Wisconsin.
Yeah, wonderful. We were at dinner. We were at dinner last night, and I don't know that Coach has been at this place, but I would bet any amount of money. Tornado in Madison. I'm sure when you were here, you had a couple of dinners with family and friends there, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're having Bielema on tomorrow. How is that relationship as a Wisconsin guy?" I said, "Every single time I tell him I want to be mad at him, and he wins me over, and I'm never mad at him." Is what happens. But on a serious note, what is it like? Because we've talked to Canty about going back and playing his old, teams that he was on. What is it like for you? I know you're fond of this place to come back here as a road coach, as a rival coach, but with all these people you know and love.
You know, Evan, it really is. Obviously, it's unique and special, and everybody makes a big deal of it. But back in the early 2000s, I went when I was the defense coordinator at Wisconsin. I went back to Iowa for the first time, and it was one of those first times where you had to go back to some place you've been, right? And it really doesn't really matter up to the game, and even during the game, it's afterwards, right? It's seeing people you love. I have a lot of great friends in Madison. My wife and I got married there. The Tornado Room, absolutely had a lot of great dinners. You probably didn't know it, but some of my crew was there last night. I recommended that place to them. We have an advanced crew that goes up the night before, so really things. But, you know, we shouldn't ignore Mr. Canty either. The Virginia Cavaliers are storming through college football this year, so it's kind of fun for him, I'm sure, as well.
Absolutely, Coach. Absolutely. I mean, listen, orange and blue, there's something special going on about our schools, and we're excited to see your team under the bright lights tomorrow night. What's going to be the key for you guys to take care of your business tomorrow against the Wisconsin Badgers?
You know, in our conference, in the Big Ten Conference, as you've seen throughout the course of the year, you know, anybody can get anybody on any given Saturday. You see it week in and week out. To play at Madison, it's senior night for those seniors. A lot of great kids that we recruited as well. That I know they bleed into that program. I know how special it is to play in Camp Randall. So we're going to get obviously their best effort. You know, just 2 weeks ago they beat a Washington team. That was a really good football team. You know, last week at Indiana. You know, everybody has problems at Indiana, but they hung tight with them and played extremely well. So, you know, Coach Fickell's a phenomenal coach. He's got good players all around him. They're playing well on defense and got a freshman quarterback that's kind of lit them up. So we're going to get their best shot. Hopefully we can sustain and battle, and it should be a great environment.
Coach, let's drill into that environment a little bit, because I know that the Badgers are sitting there at 3-7, and, you know, on the surface, it might seem like this is an inferior opponent. I know you never overlook any team, but especially a team, like you said, that has something to play for senior night. But going to Tornado last night, being in Madison for only a couple hours, everybody here is very proud of the environment that's at Camp Randall. They want to talk to you about jump around. They take great pride in making sure that it's a tough place to play. So what have you told this Illinois football team about an environment that they're going to go into that you know really well?
You know, we went up there in 2022, and, you know, one of the things that you have to do when you're preparing your team is obviously X's and O's are very important, but you have to prepare them for the environment. So I was there for 7 years as a head coach, and I always watched that other sideline when the fourth quarter jump around came on and kind of saw, you know, teams usually do three things. They usually interact, they usually withhold, or they don't do anything choreographed together, and that's kind of what you see as a result. I remember being there against number 1 Ohio State, and they talked all week about how they're going to, you know, act around and jump around, and they did that, and then we went out and closed it in the fourth quarter. So we kind of prepped them for that moment. Obviously, the weather's always going to play up this time of year in Madison. It's just a really unique environment, but kind of, you know, the same thing when we went to Purdue, right? Like, you know, the way that their fan base is right on top of you. When you go play at Iowa, it's a very close stadium. To go to Ohio State with OHIO going around, right? It's just every venue in the Big Ten Conference is so unique. You kind of got to prepare your team for a lot more than just the X's and O's. You got to prepare them for the people, and obviously the results hopefully show at the end of the game.
We're talking with Illinois head football coach Brett Bielema here on Sportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance, 21st ranked team in the country. Coach, so much is made now with so many good historical programs that are, for lack of a better way of saying it, not as good anymore because they're not caught up to the new wave of college football. Let's say somebody comes to you and says, Coach, I want advice as to how to take a power that was once a power and make it into a power again. What advice would you give them? A coach.
You know, Evan, I appreciate the question. I think no matter what I've learned, you know, I've been on this earth 55 years, right? And 17 years as a head coach, over 30 years in this business. Every organization I've ever seen or witnessed, you know, as a head coach, you get an opportunity. People come to you to invest, right? And you look at organizations and places that are companies that, you know, are successful. And the one common denominator is the people. I don't think you can ever put a price tag on the people that you're around. You know him, Evan. There's a guy named Ted Kellner who's in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, who's one of the most successful people I've ever met in my life. And Ted gave me a book after my first Big Ten championship that was a book that was called From Going Good to Great, right? And it was about getting the right people on the bus, right, and getting the wrong people off the bus. So I think there's a lot of that goes into it. But I think the people is the foundation of what we are. Here at Illinois, before I came here, I believe they had signed 4 or 5 kids from the state of Illinois over the 4 years before I came here. We've now signed over 45 kids from the state of Illinois to our program, and I think that's a really big thing you got to build from within. But it was funny, Evan, I didn't know that. I'm sure you know Tauscher. I was listening to his podcast the other day, and he was absolutely annihilating you personally, right? It was pretty funny to listen.
Oh, that's wonderful just to bring up.
This is great, Coach.
This is great. I'm glad that came up here.
It was funny. There was a fan that called in and was kind of, getting after the Packers a little bit. And it was, I think, Pete from Tennessee, and it was a priceless Wisconsin accent. And it was just, you could hear the frustration in that fan's voice, right? And it never ceases to amaze me how passionate people are. Like, this is what's awesome. You guys got your shtick every day, right? Like, I know Michelle bleeds orange and blue every day because she believes in it, because she went here. And that's what makes our game so great. We are at a time when college football literally rivals the NFL in every capacity. I was very grateful to have my 3 years in the NFL because I learned more about roster management and now even as crazy as it sounds, right, how to manage a financial roster of roster payments, that it's just an unprecedented time, and it's really cool in college football, and the great thing is we get to be a part of it.
Coach, one of the key differences between college football and the NFL is that you don't have a head coach potentially leaving for a different job before the playoffs of that season actually kick off. Yet that's the prospects that we're faced with. We had a conversation earlier this week that was triggered by what's going on with Lane Kiffin down at Ole Miss and the overtures that LSU and Florida are making in order to recruit him to the job. And taking Lane Kiffin, the name, out of it, but talking about the hypothetical in general, Coach, what do you make of the state of college football where you could potentially have a coach leave out on his team and that team qualifying for the college football playoff? It seems surreal to think that a coach could leave his squad in a lurch for a different job, but that is the position that coaches have been put in because of the winter transfer portal starting in the middle of the postseason, early January through January 16th. What do you make of what's going on when it comes to coach movement during the postseason in college football?
Chris, it's a great question. And, I sit on, because I've been fortunate to be in this business for a long time, I sit on a couple different boards and a couple different panels with the American Football Coaches Association. I'm on a board with the NCAA that is an oversight committee that kind of talks about all these issues. And really what's gone on, to be quite honest, is there's been a lot of rules that have been made in college football that are new to the game. And when people make rules, right, and they don't understand the unintended consequences of that, this is exactly what you see. I knew when we were starting to talk about a one portal window, and I knew when we were going to move it to early January that was going to create a lot of unforeseen moments for our student athletes, but I knew it was going to affect the college football world as coaches as well. Fortunately for me here, I just, because we won 7 games, added another year to my contract that I'm in a partnership with Josh Whitman, our AD, who played in the NFL for over 5 years, an incredible, awesome dude that has allowed me to have an opportunity here. The support that I get is unprecedented. Myself, Brad Underwood, Shauna Green, our women's basketball. He hired all 3 of us and really doing some great things here at Illinois. I go back. I have a very good friend, Barry Alvarez, who obviously AD at Wisconsin. He had a good friend, Rick Coleman Gordo. In these moments, he always used to say, these stories are always so much better when you're not in them. And I'm glad that I'm at where I'm at right now. I enjoy where I'm at, and we're trying to get to an 8th win against Wisconsin, an incredible football environment, to see where we can go. You always remember the ones in November, and the ones in November are special, and we got 2 left, and I'm excited for this weekend.
Well, Coach, I'm glad to hear that you're pleased where you're at. We don't want you to go anywhere. You have done an amazing job with this football program. And I wanted to ask you about the emotions of this season, because as a fan, week to week, it's been such an exciting roller coaster for me. Expectations are a tricky thing because pressure is a privilege, but it's hard not to get sucked in to riding the up and down wave of games week to week. So what's it been like for you managing those expectations in an era where your players have access to commentary and information and opinions about themselves and this team week to week as you go up in the rankings, you go down in the rankings? What's it been like for you to try to make sure that they stay at stasis?
Michelle, I'm going to steal that one. Pressure is a privilege, right? That's a great one. And it's really sums it up very, very well, right? We've created expectations here at Illinois. we had 4 straight sellouts in a row. We had a lot of people here last week for the Maryland game. A lot of really good players, but I just have kind of learned to enjoy the moment for what it is. We're a 7-3 football team. Of course, I'd love to be 10-0, but I'm also glad we're not 3-7. Right? So it's one of those things where you really appreciate the moment you're in. I absolutely love being in the building with our guys. These young men have just created a smile on my face. I learn from them every day. It's just a really cool time in my life. It was funny. Halloween, I have an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old, right? And they're beautiful little girls. They love dance. They love tumbling. They love to do math. I got a chance to read last night going to bed, Green Eggs and Ham with my 6-year-old, which was entertaining as all get out. But when it came time to pick Halloween, those two wanted to be Caden Fagan and Luke Altmaier. Right. Wow. And I think that's probably as close as I'm ever going to come to a football player. Right. But I thought for a moment, like I just kind of giggled because they love Luke. They love Caden. Right. And obviously Luke's our quarterback. So my little one just thinks he's all that in a bag of chips. But my oldest wanted to be Caden Fagan because when I was recruiting him, his mom's name is Jen. And I told my daughter, I'm like, hey, I love Caden Fagan, but you know what? His mom's name is Jen, just like your mom's name. And she remembers that now 4 or 5 years later.
Wow.
And it just shows the human element. Like when we win games, you create a moment on those game days for a family. Like we get to be a part of it as players and coaches, but those people, 70,000 people that come to watch the game, we create a memory that lasts a lifetime. And I think that's the part that has really embodied me as a head coach now, to do something beyond what's normal. To get somewhere you've never been, you got to do something you've never done. And we do that daily here. And it's a big grind here at Illinois. We got to carry a chip on our right shoulder and our left to get to where we want to be. And the next opportunity is this Saturday in Madison, Wisconsin at 6:30 in Camp Randall. And I just learned to kind of live that moment for what it is.
Well, Coach, we always appreciate the time. And we will see you tomorrow night. We are going to be at the game and be on the field, so I'll just throw with your quarterbacks if you need. No big deal.
Oh, boy,
I was
Coach,
a high school quarterback, so probably if you need anything, I'm available. Coach, thank you as always. We appreciate the time. We'll see you tomorrow.
I appreciate that, Michelle. We need bad ball drills, too, so he can come over and throw bad balls.
Oh, my God.
Because our guys got to catch some bad balls, too.
I'm throwing to the DBs. Brett Bielema, head coach, Illinois. Awesome stuff, as always. CC, Coach Bielema getting it done just like Granger.
Absolutely, and Coach got to make sure he keeps that scholarship for my son on deck for 2041. There we go. As you know, managing maintenance, repair, and operations is never easy, but for the ones who always rise to the challenge, Granger has your back. From professional-grade products you can count on to fast, dependable delivery, they're there to help you keep things running smoothly. Plus, their technical product specialists are here to help answer your toughest questions. And because Granger knows safety is always a priority, they're committed to being your partner and protecting both your people and your facilities. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
The College Football Playoff.
Scoop and score! How about my God?
We got a national championship for Chase.
You put in a tremendous amount of work to get to this point. Give it all.
It begins with round 1 on December 19th and 20th on ESPN Radio and on ESPN.
Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has saved users over $2.5 billion, and their 10 million members save up to $740 a year when they use all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money at rocketmoney.com/gameday. rocketmoney.com/gameday.
This is Marshawn Beast Mode Lynch, and Prize Pick is making sports season even more fun. On Prize Picks, whether you're a football fan, a basketball fan, or a fan of both like me, it always feels good to be right. On Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app.
Download the Prize Picks app today and use code OT to get $50 instantly in site credits after you play your first $5. That's code OT to get $50 in site credits after you play your first $5. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Running a business? You know that slow phone systems and missed messages cost you opportunities. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, is the #1 business phone system that streamlines communication, helps teams collaborate seamlessly, and respond to customers 24/7 with their AI agent. Join over 90,000 businesses using Quo. Try it free, then get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/ESPN, QUO.com/ESPN. They'll even port your existing numbers for free. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You play for the win, not just on game day, every day. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
Quick break. Got your fire safety game plan? When it comes to your home, every second matters. That's why we trust Kidde smoke alarms. They're built to respond fast and cut down on false alarms, so you can act with confidence when it counts. And now you can upgrade to over 25% faster smoke detection with Kidde's latest technology. It's more time to react and more peace of mind. That's why Kidde is North America's #1 home fire safety brand. So whether you're upgrading or installing for the first time, go with the alarms that deliver performance when it matters most. Kidde, help protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products based on total household installations as of December 2023.
I like things my way. My coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the Vyvgart Hytrulo prefilled syringe, which contains efgartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VyvgartMyWay.com. That's VYVGART myway.com. And talk to your doctor about Vyvgart Hytrulo. Brought to you by Argenix.
Want to win this holiday season? Aura Frames make it effortless, personal, easy, and unforgettable. Upload photos, share videos, and even preload memories before it ships, so your gift feels thoughtful from the moment it's unwrapped. For a limited time, visit auraframes.com and get $45 off Aura's best-selling Carver mat frame using promo code SCORE. Don't forget to mention ESPN streaming at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
What would you do if your online store converted 36% more shoppers? You could take 36% more vacation.
Another pina colada?
Yes, please. Open a new retail location with 36% more square feet.
Fantastic.
Hire 36% more help.
You're hired and you're hired.
Shopify has the world's best converting checkout, up to 36% better than other e-commerce platforms. What you do with those extra sales is up to you. Switch to Shopify today at shopify.com/streaming and get a $1 trial. Shopify.com/streaming.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here, wishing you a very happy half-off holiday, because right now Mint Mobile is offering you the gift of 50% off unlimited. To be clear, that's half price, not half the service. And Mint is still premium unlimited wireless for a great price. So that means a half day. Yeah? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Lids is your home for the best NBA gear this holiday season. From New Era and Mitchell & Ness, get the latest caps, jerseys, and tees, including the NBA City Edition collection. Shopping for yourself or someone else? Stop by the Custom Zone to add a personal touch. Text NBA to 29017 to sign up for text messaging and receive a coupon for 20% off your next in-store headwear or apparel purchase. Exclusions and message and data rates apply. See a Lids teammate for details.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the weather first, before wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Oh, and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Fridays, I help you get ready for the weekend. The biggest stories of the week, as only First Take can present them. We start at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Tonight, it's a star-studded women's college basketball showdown on ESPN.
Jazzy Davidson, we welcome her to the big stage in women's college basketball.
Freshman phenom Jazzy Davidson and USC take on superstar Hannah Hidalgo and the Fighting Irish.
Hidalgo, what a move! And the finish!
Number 11 USC versus number 24 Notre Dame. Tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and streaming on the ESPN app.
College Football Saturday on ESPN Radio.
Caught! Touchdown!
The Arkansas Razorbacks head to Austin to face Arch Manning in the 17th-ranked Texas Longhorns.
Touchdown! A 75-yard touchdown pass on a swing from Arch Manning. Texas!
Arkansas at 17th-ranked Texas. Coverage begins tomorrow at 3 Eastern with kickoff at 3:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC. Presented by Dr. Pepper. Hey, did you miss Clinton and Friends?
It's very weird to look at the Patriots and include what we'll just call a likability element as a non-New England person. Mike Vrabel's cool. Drake May is seemingly an awesome dude. This is a team that, even if you don't care about that part of the country, you can look at it and say, oh, I like them.
Clinton and Friends, weekdays from 10 to noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
It's a now or never weekend in the National Football League, so who's going to be part of that now and who may want to be in a never in 2025? All that and so much more in the afternoon cool edition of Freddie and Harry, 3 p.m. Eastern time on the mighty ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and don't forget about us on ESPN+.
This is Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
If you're Kevin O'Connell, you say to yourself, man, do I need to alter some things to tailor it towards J.J. McCarthy?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have the number one receiver in the league. You have a good number two in Jordan Addison. You have a T.J. Hawkinson. Like, you have the surrounding pieces around this young guy. You just need him to play better.
Check out more from Freddie and Harry weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
This is Adam Schefter, and on this week's episode, a theme from the weekend, the first place Chicago Bears, and our weekly power rankings. The Adam Schefter Podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Football Sunday on ESPN Radio. It's a critical showdown in the NFC North.
Here's J.J. McCarthy. Falls for the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown, Minnesota Vikings.
J.J. McCarthy leads the Minnesota Vikings into Lambeau Field to face Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers.
Touchdown. Beautiful work. Jordan Love for the score.
Coverage begins Sunday at noon Eastern with kickoff at 1 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Saturday, tune into SEC Network for a full day of SEC football coverage, starting at 9 a.m. with Marty and McGee and SEC Nation. Then, it's an SEC afternoon doubleheader, followed by SEC Saturday night under the lights. Later, break down the day's action with SEC football final postgame. All-day SEC football coverage begins Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern on SEC Network and stream on the all-new ESPN app.
ESPN Radio Extra Point with Clinton Yates.
So the Philadelphia Eagles officially have a problem. And it's not a problem in the context of, can they win games? Do they have a successful method? Do they believe in themselves? It's a problem of leadership. I do think this is going to affect this team at some point. If it boils over to the playoffs and there's a circumstance in which guys are frustrated, you don't want that. You want folks on the same page. That's how you repeat. Some level of cohesion matters because the opponents are only getting tougher. I don't think the Eagles are a bad team by any stretch. And I don't think this is a super problem from my standpoint. But I do think if players inside the organization or other people are visibly and audibly frustrated, they got to figure that out. That's the kind of thing that'll make a team crumble from the inside.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
This is Unsportsmanlike with Chris Canty, Evan Cohen, and Michelle Smallman.
CeCe's first college game he ever played in was here, and he's upset about it because they lost, Virginia did, and I'm not bringing it up because of that. I do think there is an amazing irony to the fact that we are here, we all work together, and your first game was randomly here at Wisconsin.
Yeah, I don't want to come back, Ev. I don't want to go back to the scene of the crime. That's how bad it was.
Was that Lee Evans?
Yes, now we've got some On Wisconsin music, and if you're watching on the TV side, you see highlights from August 25th, 2001, where Wisconsin defeated Virginia 26-17. We are on Sportsmanlike here on ESPN Radio. We're live in Madison, Wisconsin. You can help make someone's holiday magic by participating in the ESPN Radio Toy Drive and make a toy donation for Toys for Tots. Go to espnradio.yougivegoods.com to donate now. Join ESPN Radio in making holiday magic by donating a toy to Toys for Tots at espnradio.yougivegoods.com. Along Michelle Smallman, Chris Canty back in New York. Joe Thomas is here, Wisconsin grad, Hall of Famer, and in studio bringing gifts.
Meet Santa's here, boys.
Meet Santa.
We're ready. We got the
Meet
Hall of Fame
Santa.
beef, dropping off the beef sticks, the apple cheddar, mystery flavor cinnamon. That was a little secret.
Michelle got it
was
right.
ahead of it.
Unbelievable.
Amazing.
How did you get the mystery flavor of the Hall of Fame
Just by
beef?
smelling it across the room.
No, because I love to cook, and I knew that
Yeah.
apple cheddar, a very nice complementary flavor with anti-inflammatory properties, the
Yes.
cinnamon.
And for the fall. Who
And
doesn't
for the
love that
fall.
smell of cinnamon when you walk into the kitchen, right? It just feels like fall, feels like Thanksgiving.
No doubt.
How did you get involved in this, by the way?
My children. They thought I'd be very bored in retirement, and
Really?
they wanted to eat some beef that we raised on the farm. So they're like, Dad, why don't we get some cows now that you're going to be bored in retirement?
We have to ask you a
Okay,
question.
here we go.
Yeah.
Perfect lead-in.
The great Buster Olney was listening to our show this week and called in. And Buster famously has a farm in Vermont. He would always say, when
Okay.
we're talking about baseball, I would bet my farm in Vermont.
And he was
we were
meaning
asked.
it.
Yes, and we were asking him about you and your farm,
Yeah.
and he said he could tell what type of farm it was if you know the names of your cows.
Oh.
So, Joe, do you have names for your cows?
We do, and we name them after grandpas and uncles and cousins, and then my children got them, and then now the next generation was my friends, but it was like their alter ego names. So we had like Don Thick and Seth Western, and like really funny. And by the way, Don Thick had the best brisket out of any animal that we've had on the farm so far, and so it was aptly named in that case.
Okay, so he does know the names of the cows.
Joe, while we have you, and there's so much football to get to, but Chris Canty is back in New York because he's in the baby window. He and his wife are about to have their first child. You have 4, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
4.
4 in.
Rugrats.
What advice do you have for him as he's in this pre-baby window within the next month or so?
Do everything you've ever wanted to do, because you will never be the same human being with the same amount of time and the same identity after that baby is born. And you can't even understand, no matter how many times people tell you what it's going to be like and how different it's going to be and how much it's going to change, until you actually live it.
Good advice.
Okay,
And
so
every
what's
day
the
is
one?
not
What's
about
the
you
one?
anymore.
So, Joe, here's the thing. What's the one thing that I should make sure to do once the kid gets here? What's the hack for the first-time parents as soon as the kid gets here, the fourth trimester? What's the hack to being able to survive that time?
Is there survival? I don't think there's a hack and there's no survival.
Wow.
You just make it through every day.
Come on, Joe, give me some. So there is no light at the end of the tunnel. Just get on the train.
There is light at the end of the tunnel. So I guess that's the hack is like, hey, it's going to get better. It's okay right now.
Okay.
It's only going to get better. Every day is better. And there's some truthfulness in that because my kids are now 12, 11, 9, and 7. And it's the best that we've ever had, right? And when they were a lot younger and it was way more stressful and chaotic, it was still good, but just every day got better because they're growing. They're getting more of an attachment to you. They're becoming their own people. They're blossoming. They're just like the cattle, right? They're getting a little bit bigger and they're getting closer to that finished product that you're going to be so proud of when they're out there one day. You know, my kids are playing hoops and my son's playing flag football now, and you're just that proud dad, right? Being able to look at what you and your wife were able to create and like see how every little late night, every little diaper change, every little butt wipe that you have, like it made a difference. And actually, the secret name of it's Hall of Fame beef, but it's not because of my Hall of Fame. It's because my youngest daughter, Reese, she's our last one, and so my wife was sick of wiping her butt, and so my wife really started leaning into calling me the Hall of Fame butt wiper, and so it was like a little Tom Sawyer thing. So like she's like, I don't want to do it anymore, and so he's like, oh, why don't you call for the Hall of Fame butt wiper? And it was right at the time we had just started the Hall of Fame beef business. So you'll get some funny little inside stories like that when you have kids because you spend a lot of time with them, and they get a lot of chances to make fun of you and tease you, especially as they get older.
We're talking with Hall of Fame butt wiper Joe Thomas,
Thank you.
who also is a Pro Football Hall of Famer, Hall of Fame beef, and Wisconsin grad as well. You and I had a chance to talk the other day, and I just want to kind of open the floor for you before we get into NFL stuff. The state of college football right now for you, how much different it is than when guys like you and CC played, and how schools like ours at Wisconsin can make it. It's not just Wisconsin, but schools like ours. Small as the school is making it. CC's school is making it. Illinois and Virginia. We're kind of all around the same level. How does Joe Thomas look at the state of college football right now?
Well, I love what Brett said, right? He said it's never been more competitive from an entertainment standpoint with the NFL than it is right now because there's more parity, there's more chaos, there's more teams that feel like, hey, overnight with some NIL and some good transfer portal players coming in, like we can flip this thing immediately. It's not like the old days where once you build that reputation and now you're recruiting on reputation and you've got the Joe Pa's and the Nick Sabans and those Coach Carrs in Michigan. Those are guys that like they recruit on what they've done for the last 10, 15, 20 years so that it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy and that snowball rolls downhill where you just keep getting good talent year after year and it keeps getting better and it just sustains itself. Where now it's like, okay, how much money can you put behind it, right? It's a lot more like the NFL where you have that free agency and you have that competitive balance, which makes it more fun. I mean, I think that was one of the downfalls of college football before was if you were a team like Wisconsin was right on the edge of being potentially a team that felt like we could win the national championship. I mean, if you were a fan like you and I, you felt like, all right, maybe we can win the national championship. Right. But outside of Wisconsin, most people weren't picking Wisconsin to win the national championship. But if you were a smaller school, even or a mid-Big Ten school, like you didn't really have any real hope of doing anything but being competitive. But now, shoot, look what Indiana's doing.
They're the perfect example.
They're the perfect example. I mean, they've been able to flip it overnight. You get the right coach. You're able to put some money behind your players. And all of a sudden, you've got a roster that fan base right now has never been more excited about Indiana football. That school has never probably had more pride about being an alumni. And they have a legitimate chance to be national champions. And now all it takes is one team like that, where now every college program across the country has that belief that they can be the next Indiana.
And Joe, here's the thing. I'm all for the player movement and how that has created more parity than we've ever had in college football. Some of these programs that haven't necessarily been perennial powers having a chance to jump up there and get to the college football playoff and compete for championships. But because the NCAA has consolidated the transfer portal windows into one window that happens in early January, it's triggered these other schools at Power 4 conferences with coaching vacancies to be more aggressive with trying to get coaches. And that brings us to what we feel like could be a controversy with Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss potentially leaving Ole Miss for LSU or the Florida job before his team actually plays in the college football playoff if they qualify. So I'm just curious to get your thoughts on how the NCAA should approach trying to make sure that they don't undermine a current team's season because their head coach could potentially leave for a better job.
It's the best product college football's ever put out there on the field, but it's a very imperfect system right now. Let's be honest. The NIL imbalances, the transfer portal chaos, the way that teams are stealing players from other teams, even though they're not supposed to, but there's a lot of tampering going on out there. I mean, talking with Coach Fickle over the summer, it's like they got to recruit their own guys just as much as everybody else. And it's not because necessarily Wisconsin's having a bad season and people want to leave, but as soon as you put good tape out there, all the other schools are going through the back channels and talking to your guys. And then you have the issue now with the coaches possibly leaving. Like, they need to make a lot of changes. There is no doubt. And it needs to look a lot more like the NFL. You hate to say with how college football is right now, they need to look more like the NFL with salary cap, with more rules on free agency windows, which is essentially what the transfer portal is. And they need to start cracking down more on tampering. And they need to crack down a little bit on this coaching issue with coaches just being able to up and run, like cut and run on their team right before maybe some of the biggest games of the season because somebody else is going to pay them some more money. So they need to get some more leadership within the Power Four conferences, within the NCAA, and then they need to agree, just like NFL owners did, 50 years ago, where they said, hey, we're the richest owners here, but it's better for the game if we're able to distribute our resources a little bit more evenly, have some rules where the playing field is more even, where fans can become attached to players that they know that they're going to be there for a little bit longer than maybe 1 year and being gone. And then for coaching staffs to say we need more stability at that position because we need fan bases to fall in love with coaches and players for more than just one season.
Well, speaking of the NFL, Joe, we have to ask you about the Cleveland Browns. Shedeur Sanders getting his first start, his debut. A lot has been made about the amount of reps he was receiving prior to last week. How much more indicative what's the sense of his actual skill set that we're going to get this week now that he has gotten more reps?
Well, I think it's going to be a lot better evaluation opportunity for Browns fans, for the Browns organization, for people at large that are just Shedeur Sanders fans, because he's going to get a game plan that's customized to his skill set, which is a lot different than what Dillon Gabriel does well, right? Dillon is much better just rolling out of the pocket, scrambling. That's kind of always been his game, where Shedeur is a pocket passer. He wants to be in the pocket. He's got great accuracy. He can push the ball down in the middle of the field, which is something that Dillon hasn't done. But then also just getting those reps with your receivers. I think that is obviously paramount right now for him as a guy that hasn't had those first team reps, to just go through a week of practice, to be able to go through a game plan and make all those throws that he's going to see on Sunday, to see the defense, which defenses in the NFL, spoiler alert, a lot different than what you're going to see in college, a lot more detailed. There are a lot more confusion that they're going to try to create when they're out there, chaos with their pre-snap alignments. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's going to be a much better evaluation opportunity for everybody in watching Shedeur Sanders.
Joe, do you have 10 more minutes, 10, 15 more minutes?
Sure.
Okay, all right. Let's take a quick break. We're going to get more with Joe Thomas because we got to dive deeper into Shedeur. There's been a lot of conversation about the Browns and how they've handled it, and, of course, all things NFL. He's a Hall of Fame butt wiper. That's what we've learned today. Is Joe Thomas, a Hall of Fame butt wiper. He's got Hall of Fame beef. You could search it and buy it. He's got it right in front of him. He's on the farm. He's doing it for the kids, his kids. And he named his cows after people he knows in his life, but with kind of their stage names. So more with Joe Thomas, the Hall of Famer. That was
a great summary.
On Unsportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance.
College Football Saturday on ESPN Radio.
Throws back of the end zone. Caught. Touchdown.
The 20th ranked Tennessee Vols head into the Swamp to face the Florida Gators. Coverage begins tomorrow at 7 Eastern with kickoff at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC. Presented by Dr. Pepper.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has saved users over $2.5 billion, and their 10 million members save up to $740 a year when they use all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money at rocketmoney.com/gameday. rocketmoney.com/gameday.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You play for the win, not just on game day, every day. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
Running a business? You know that slow phone systems and missed messages cost you opportunities. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, is the #1 business phone system that streamlines communication, helps teams collaborate seamlessly, and respond to customers 24/7 with their AI agent. Join over 90,000 businesses using Quo. Try it free, then get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/ESPN, QUO.com/ESPN. They'll even port your existing numbers for free. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers.
This is Marshawn Beast Mode Lynch, and Prize Pick is making sports season even more fun. On Prize Picks, whether you're a football fan, a basketball fan, or a fan of both like me, it always feels good to be right. On Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app.
Download the Prize Picks app today and use code OT to get $50 instantly in site credits after you play your first $5. That's code OT to get $50 in site credits after you play your first $5. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Unsportsmanlike with Evan Canty and Michelle.
Shedeur Sanders will be getting his first career start this weekend when the Browns take on the Raiders.
I feel like I'm the guy, I know I'm the guy, but, you just have to be able to see. The game got to speak.
I think we're going to see a much better performance than what we saw the other day.
We are Unsportsmanlike here on ESPN Radio. ESPNU. We are presented by Progressive Insurance, along with Chris Canty, Michelle Smallman, Evan Cohen, Pro Football Hall of Fame butt wiper. Joe Thomas is here, Hall of Famer, Cleveland Browns on Wisconsin. We're in Madison for the show today. Wisconsin, Illinois. Also, by the way, get ready for the final day of the HBCU regular season. First round of the Division II playoffs. HBCU today, Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Danelle Ware, Tanitra Batista take you through the entire slate of games. They speak with Alabama State head coach Eddie Robinson Jr., HBCU alum Rick Ross, the boss. Let's go. Tune in Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern, ESPN Radio, on the all-new ESPN app. So we left off talking to you about your former team, the Cleveland Browns, and there seems like there have been so many non-football conversations around the quarterback decision with the Cleveland Browns. Of all of the wild conversations, are any of them fair to you, or should we just be focusing on Gabriel was a third-round pick, he got hurt, the fifth-round pick, who's also a rookie, now has a chance to play?
The crazy conversations out of the Shedeur Sanders cult are the people who still haven't accepted the fact that he was a fifth-round draft choice, that we loved him. I mean, I loved him. I said that Browns should have picked him in the first round back in the spring when we were talking about the draft. Of course, he falls to the fifth round. The NFL told us he doesn't have the skills and the necessary preparation, development to be able to make that transition to the NFL right now. And so, yes, he's got some great talents, right? He processes not fast enough right now at the NFL game, but he's got this amazing accuracy. He's got this good arm, and he's a playmaker. Those are a really nice skill set, but you got to be able to put those together with all the other things to be able to be successful at the NFL. And what we saw last week when he came in without that practice rep behind him was a guy that fell back on the bad habits that he had in college.
Joe, I want to ask you this question because we've been trying to figure out what the bar to clear is for Shedeur Sanders in order for Kevin Stefanski and this Browns organization to give him the lion's share of the starts remaining in this regular season. What does he have to show on Sunday against the Raiders in order for him to get the nod in Week 13 and beyond as the starting quarterback?
Well, I think that's something that fans are going to have a bit of a hard time to be able to tell for sure, because you really are going to need to know what the coaches are telling him in those meetings and what they're trying to set up for him. But from a coach's standpoint, if you're inside of that game plan and you're in those meeting rooms with him, if you're able to see substantial progress over what he was last week, I think you just continue to run with him as long as he's progressing. And maybe the stats aren't going to be a lot better. I mean, his stats were not very good last week, and so I expect them to be better. But I don't think he's going to throw for 300 yards and have 2 touchdowns and they're going to win the game. But being able to see that, okay, he's hanging in the pocket a little bit better. He's stepping up. He's not just drifting and trying to take sacks when he doesn't see the defense very well. When teams are blitzing him, he knows where to go with the football. Like, those are the biggest things that I saw from last week, and I saw when I covered them during the preseason and called those games. Just the ability to stand in that pocket and have that comfort level of going 1-2 and seeing a blitz and being able to know what your answers are. I think if you see that progress, you got to say, hey, he has a much higher ceiling than Dylan Gabriel. And so we really need to stick with him, because the most important thing at this point moving forward for the Browns is to figure out, what are we going to do at quarterback next year?
Well, in order for him to do that, let's talk protection. What kind of offensive line is he working with the Browns?
So his interior 3 are pretty good. They've had some injuries on the outside. And so Jack Conklin's playing well, but the left tackle position has had a lot of injuries and some struggles. So he's not getting probably the best protection on the edge that he needs, but on the inside, which is what I think should give him confidence, knowing that I can step up in the pocket, because where I'm the safest is behind my inside 3, my center, my 2 guards who are good players. They're going to be very firm. And so giving him the confidence to know, hey, if I step up, even if the edge is a little bit soft, that's my safe spot.
Joe, let's take the Browns out for a second. Let's talk about the other 31 teams. If I said to you, Joe Thomas, Hall of Famer, you could come back in your prime right now and you could pick your team to play on, what team would you pick and why? What's the most attractive situation?
I would play for the Detroit Lions.
Ooh,
why is that?
Well, my love for Cleveland, it started a long time ago. I mean, my dad's side of the family is all from Toledo. So as a Midwest guy, I've always loved Cleveland. I love the Midwest. Grew up in Milwaukee. So Detroit, they got pretty good fishing there, too. Some good duck hunting and some stuff like that.
Jimmy Dan Campbell was fishing.
But that was the setup, right?
Okay.
But playing for Dan Campbell would be a lot of fun. I knew him a little bit when he was a player. We played about the same time. And I think playing for a guy that's inspirational but very open and honest, and you get that emotion from him that's real and raw and not phony, which I think as a coach is one of the most important thing to motivate and lead. But also, they've got an amazing offensive line. They've got an amazing offensive line coach. Playing for Jared Goff, I think, would be a lot of fun. You know, the quarterback you're blocking for has a lot to do with your performance. Just knowing where he's going to be, knowing that he's going to get you into the right protections, having that comfort level so that there's a trust between the two of you. I think that's huge. But I think also, like, I reflect back on why I decided to stay in Cleveland and try to finish my career there, because I thought doing something special and getting that first Super Bowl appearance and Super Bowl win in Cleveland would be something that very few people can say, hey, I was part of the very first Super Bowl with this franchise in history. And Detroit has that opportunity. They've had it for a couple of years, but a legitimate opportunity here continues. And I think being part of that would be so special. And you know, hey, it's great to play for the Patriots and win another Super Bowl and everything, but nothing would be more special than taking that fan base and giving them the joy of having that parade through their downtown after winning a Super Bowl.
Can I just ask Joe and Cece something, though? Because you said something unknowingly that is the way Cece feels about Tom Coughlin. Because we've seen Tom Coughlin in studio with us, and Cece gets emotional in a different way about Coughlin. You said the emotion of a coach. Because we think a football coach is big, hard-nosed, intense, either strategist or like beating the crap out of everybody mentally. Why is it important to both of you, the emotion of a coach to be seen?
So to me, I don't care if you're Andy Reid and you're like the laid-back, chill guy, at least on the exterior, or if you're like with Kyle Shanahan, who is my favorite coach I ever played for, who's more of like the strategist, who's showing you like, look, I'm putting you in the best position to succeed, and you have an advantage going out there because of my scheme and how I'm coaching you guys up to do this. And so now I'm empowered as a player to go, wow, I have the greatest opportunity to make more bread for me and my family and for my teammates and go win these games because this guy's doing amazing favor for us to put us in this position. Or if you have more of a fiery guy that wears his heart on his sleeve like a Dan Campbell. But just that authenticity, I think, is so important, that you feel and you know the emotions that that coach is feeling are similar to yours. Maybe not the same emotion, but he's feeling the same type of heightened excitement about everything that you guys are doing. I think if that shows through, that's really important. You've got to really be who you are. Authenticity matters, and it's the most important thing, in my opinion, to be able to motivate and lead adult men in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's people don't care about what you have to say until they know you care. That's what it comes down to. And eventually, at some point in this game, you're going to have to sacrifice your own individual ambitions, your own individual productivity for team success. And the coaches that can have that connection with those players are the ones that are going to, evoke the best versions of those players. And so I think that's why I feel something different when it comes to TC versus some of the other coaches that I played for, just because of the personal connection there. He cared about the development of the man almost as much as he cared about the development of the player, and that got players to play above, what their ceilings might have been under another head coach.
Playing in the NFL is hard. You put your body through a lot of hell. Mm-hmm. A lot of guys, they're really, really banged up, especially as you become an older player. And as a player, we need to know that coach is as invested as we are in the team's success.
That they're not just treating you like Hall of Fame beef.
Oh, I'm just as I'm not quite as invested as my Steers are, because they live a little better life than me, but it's shorter. However, it's very important that everybody is bought in with the same level of commitment. Like, it's do or die right here. We have burned the boats, and we're all out here together fighting.
But what's interesting about you two, it's I don't want to get too deep on this, and I know it's like football X and O's, but I think it smells like you and I talk, and TC talks about like emotion and real life stuff a lot.
Yeah.
Joe played his entire career in the NFL for losing teams.
Yeah.
Was just on some of the worst teams, and is one of the greatest players to ever play, and is a straight line of emotion. CC never played on a losing team, and is a straight line of emotion. How do two people that have total opposite ends of the winning spectrum end up the same way at the end?
I think if you want to become great in the NFL, you do have to remove some of the emotion on the field to be able to perform at your highest level. I was really lucky my last couple of years in the NFL. We had the Navy SEALs come in and train us, and the on-the-field training was fine. They put you through hell, and they make you lift up logs and do things till you puke and stuff like that. But to me, the emotional part and the mental side was where I learned the most. Even in my 10th and 11th season, just hearing those guys talk about your brain as a muscle, and you got to train it the same way, and that smooth is fast, right? To be able to operate in those really super high pressure situations that you find yourself in, clearly as a Navy SEAL, but then obviously also if you're in a big game, it's fourth down, you got 10 yards to go, the game's on the line, it's a gotta have it situation. You've got to be able to fall back on your training in almost like a robotic manner, which Belichick was so good at. Do your job, right? Remove emotion. Do your job. Don't think about anything else, because as soon as you let too much emotion creep in, you start making irrational decisions. You start leaving some of your training, and then that's when a lot of the mistakes are starting to happen.
But that's hard for me on the outside to understand how you can get yourself to a place mentally to be able to do what you do physically without that emotion. Mm-hmm. It's hard for me to understand how to compartmentalize it. Like, we went to Thursday Night Football, Eagles, Giants at MetLife. CC played there. It was very cool. We walked out of the tunnel. We didn't even run out of the tunnel pregame on game day, and you feel that emotion. So I don't know how you remove that in order to do your job at a high level.
So you have to know how much emotion you need, right? And if you're playing against a bum, you got to build him up in your mind like Belichick did all those years, like I did. Like, oh man, if I get beat by this guy even one time, the people in Japan are going to be calling for my job, and they're going to know that the left tackle for the Browns is a bum
against you, though.
No.
Yeah,
There was plenty of guys.
Joe was just telling you what he told himself when he played against me. That's all he's doing right now.
You were a great player.
When I played against this candy bum, when I played against that guy, I really had to try to build him up in my mind.
But you always had to play with like enough stress, right? Enough stress, I think, at least on the offensive side of the ball. And I always kind of view things from an offensive lineman perspective of I need to have enough stress in those moments, the right amount, not too much where you're doing things that are veering from what you've been trained to do and what you've planned to do, but enough stress that it laser focuses your mind on your job, and that's all you're thinking about. You're not thinking about the crowd. You're not thinking about the situation or what the defense did or what the coach told you. Like, it's the ability to block all those other emotions out and just allow a little bit of stress to creep in to give you that focus that you need to perform at your highest level.
Tell everybody again about Hall of Fame beef. please.
Hall of Fame beef. I mean, are you kidding me? The greatest, most premium Wagyu and Angus beef that money can buy. My family, we thank you. I'm the Hall of Fame butt wiper. It is very true. My kids, they come out and they help feed the cattle, and it's become a passion project for me to be able to feed the healthiest, cleanest, most delicious beef on planet Earth to as many people as I possibly can. And, well, thank you guys for having me. And before you leave, you got to try this delicious apple
I don't eat red meat, so I'm the worst person. I'm the worst person to do this.
All
Smalls,
beef.
Okay.
Smalls will do it. No, get in here. No, I don't eat red meat.
Ready? Cheers.
All right, so there we go.
Oh, did you hear that snap? Oh, my goodness.
You heard the snap, yeah.
Look at that cheddar on the inside.
Wait, cheddar on the inside? For real?
It's
that's
apple
cool.
cheddar. Yeah, it's in the name.
Hey, Joe, I'm going to need you to send some of that my way, partner. I'm going to need some of that.
Seriously, send me your address. I'll send you a little gift box.
I got you.
Unbelievable.
Isn't it amazing?
That cinnamon comes through so perfectly.
This is my kid's snack every day. And we use
so good.
a really long fermenting process so we can use less preservatives. So it's a cleaner end product, and it's more delicious. You've got this incredible moisture level on the inside.
No, seriously. This is perfection.
Creamy.
Well done. Hall of Famer.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Smalls.
Pro Football Hall of Famer, Hall of Fame beef, Hall of Fame butt wiper. He does it all. Joe Thomas on Wisconsin. CC, that probably would be good with a little 5-hour energy right next to it.
Oh, no doubt. Caffeine doesn't have to be bitter or boring anymore. 5-hour energy shots are bringing the flavor and the energy. One of my personal favorites, strawberry banana. I had it this morning. It's giving smoothie vibes in a compact caffeinated shot. Whether you like your energy sour, fruity, or tropical with 17 flavors, there's something for every mood. And yeah, it's got as much caffeine as a premium cup of coffee without the sugar and without the crash. Pick one up at Amazon today or go to 5hourenergy.com and get yours now.
Football Sunday on ESPN Radio.
Takes a snap, leaps forward, reaches the ball out. He's in. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars head to Glendale to face Jacoby Brissett and the Arizona Cardinals. Coverage begins Sunday at 4 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
At Bank of America, we asked our people, how do you take ownership of your career?
I'm able to grow my way by putting the priorities that I have for my career first.
I thrive on being a leader who's behind the team, not in front of the team.
Every few years, I'm being re-energized because I get to do something different and learn something new.
See how our teammates are growing in their careers at bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those painful moments in sports.
Defense.
The ref totally blew that call.
Oh, I'm sure he'll make the right call next time.
It's too late. It cost us the game.
Well, it's just one game.
That loss eliminated us from the playoffs.
Oh, the playoffs are on so late. Now you'll be well rested.
Okay, I need you to stop talking now.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
When it's time to scale your business, it's time for Shopify. Get everything you need to grow the way you want. Like, all the way. Stack more sales with the best converting checkout on the planet. Track your cha-chings from every channel, right in one spot. And turn real-time reporting into big-time opportunities. Take your business to a whole new level. Switch to Shopify. Start your free trial today.
If you're a custodial supervisor at a local high school, you know that cleanliness is key, and that the best place to get cleaning supplies is from Grainger. Grainger helps you stay fully stocked on the products you trust, from paper towels and disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Plus, you can rely on Grainger for easy reordering, so you never run out of what you need. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I like things my way, my coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the Vyvgart Hytrulo prefilled syringe, which contains Efgartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VyvgartMyWay.com. That's VYVGART myway.com. And talk to your doctor about Vyvgart Hytrulo. Brought to you by Argenix.
Want to win this holiday season? Aura frames make it effortless, personal, easy, and unforgettable. Upload photos, share videos, and even preload memories before it ships, so your gift feels thoughtful from the moment it's unwrapped. For a limited time, visit auraframes.com and get $45 off Aura's best-selling Carver mat frame using promo code SCORE. Don't forget to mention ESPN streaming at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here. Wishing you a very happy half-off holiday, because right now Mint Mobile is offering you the gift of 50% off unlimited. To be clear, that's half price, not half the service. And Mint is still premium unlimited wireless for a great price. So that means a half day. Yeah? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has saved users over $2.5 billion, and their 10 million members save up to $740 a year when they use all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money at rocketmoney.com/gameday. rocketmoney.com/gameday.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You play for the win, not just on game day, every day. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
Running a business? You know that slow phone systems and missed messages cost you opportunities. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, is the #1 business phone system that streamlines communication, helps teams collaborate seamlessly, and respond to customers 24/7 with their AI agent. Join over 90,000 businesses using Quo. Try it free, then get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/ESPN, QUO.com/ESPN. They'll even port your existing numbers for free. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers.
This is Unsportsmanlike. Football Sunday on ESPN Radio. It's a critical showdown in the NFC North. J.J. McCarthy leads the Minnesota Vikings into Lambeau Field to face Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers.
Beautiful work. Jordan Love for the score.
Coverage begins Sunday at noon Eastern with kickoff at 1 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
We are Unsportsmanlike here on ESPN Radio. ESPNU, we are presented by Progressive Insurance. We are live in Madison, Wisconsin. Wisconsin-Illinois game coming up on Saturday. We have downgraded. We went from a Pro Football Hall of Famer to Mark Tauscher, who also was an offensive lineman in the state of Wisconsin, in studio with us, and our teammate here on ESPN Radio.
Why do you always... You know what? I saw this... Was it this week or last week that you were complimenting Evan on how great of a husband he is. And CeCe.
This week.
But CeCe didn't seem as uncomfortable.
No, CeCe
He is one of these, he just loves, he doesn't want anyone ever saying anything nice. So I'm actually thinking about going the opposite way. I like usually busting your chops. And Bielema busted your chops. But Evan, you are a really good host. You do a great job.
No, this is
it is so awesome that you're bringing all of this attention to the University of Wisconsin. Like, you as an ambassador for this program and for this school and for this city, I don't think any of us alumni can thank you enough for all of the great things that you're doing.
What an unbelievable
Isn't
pivot.
he? Like, what? It's just, it's so awesome that he's doing that.
And Tausch, what a good representation for the students here at the University of Wisconsin, that they too cannot go to parties and wake up at 6 a.m. and go to the student radio station and one day host on a national platform like Unsportsmanlike.
It's a pretty special deal. And Evan, you're a pretty special guy.
All
so
right.
just great.
Stick and move. All right. Tausch, we have to ask everybody this. Canty's in the window. He's in the baby window.
Yes.
First baby on the way. You have 2 kids, wonderful kids. Last time I saw your son, he had a really cool Jumpman sweatshirt on. I want to point that out. What advice do you have as he's in this window, getting ready for his first child?
So I guess the first question, push present. Has Canty gotten a push present?
I love where your head's at.
CeCe?
Yes, we have the push present on deck. We got a nice piece. She wanted a piece of art. So we got a piece of art from an artist named Carrie James Marshall, excuse me. So we got the art done. She wanted that as the push gift.
Okay, so that was one thing. I'll be honest. I didn't know a ton about that. The other thing is just there's no way you can read every book. You can do everything. You try and have the car seats and all that stuff done. Just roll with it. There's nothing you can do.
Just roll with it.
There's literally, I don't know what planning you can have everything that you think, and the bottom line is it's the best. You'll enjoy everything about it, and it'll be the tribulations will probably be just as enjoyable as the whatever that's called. Yeah,
Tosh, here's what I don't understand. Why do they make the baby stuff so complicated? It took me a couple of hours to put together the strollers, the car seats. You got the swaddles. You got the baby carriers. Why is putting together this stuff so complicated?
I think it's like the last bastion to make sure you're going to be a dad.
Oh.
It's like you have to.
Like, are you sure?
It's kind of like it's kind of like, you know how when they do all these riders when people go to perform. And they say, well, you need to have 62 blue M&Ms. Do you really need 62 blue M&Ms? Or is it because I want to make sure you're good at setting up what you're doing and your attention to detail is on point? If that's the case, hey, I don't need 62 M&Ms, but they're in there because I want to make sure your crew is detailed enough. I think that's why, at least that's why they do it.
Mark Tauscher, ESPN Wisconsin, and Packers and Badgers just compared parenting to 62 blue
It's
M&Ms.
actually the best explanation that anybody has ever told me as to why the baby stuff is so complicated.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought it was more like the combine, trying to assess your skill set, maybe see where you need to improve.
Let me tell you something, it's too late for that. You got drafted, you're an undrafted free agent. That ship has sailed, so that's not happening. Yeah.
Tausch, let's talk NFL with you guys. Obviously,
can I throw my theory at you guys? I told you this, and I don't think you brought it up yet.
Oh, I would love to hear it.
2 versus 3 teams?
No, the most important 1 seed, I believe, this year's in the NFC is this season.
Ever?
Ever.
Okay,
It's only been in play for a while. Is this not the most competitive? Like, you can see every team is flawed. Detroit's flawed. Philly's flawed. Green Bay's got flaws. You being able to get that 1 seed and not having to play in that first round. Every game is an elimination game, but there's years that you think 2-7. All right, yeah, it's a 7 seed. We're going to beat them. There ain't going to be that this year. You're playing. If you're a 2 seed, even though you're at home, you'll be favored to only have to play 2 games and to be able to host. I think this year, because of how tightly everybody is in there, there's nobody has elevated themselves. Maybe outside of the Rams. That home field and that 1 seed, I think this year in the NFC is important as it's ever been.
CC, what do you think about that?
No, I mean, I think he's spot on in terms of how competitive the conference is. I'm just curious, though, Tausch, how we look at the conference as a whole. Who's the team that has the gaudy record that you would consider the most vulnerable? So out of those teams that we think could be championship contenders, you're looking at the Eagles, you're looking at the Packers, the Lions, the Rams, the Seahawks, the 49ers. Who's the most vulnerable of those teams? If you're saying that it's the most important year for the number 1 seed, who is it most important for? What team in order to get that 1 seed?
Philly. I think Philadelphia, you have to respect what they've done. And Jalen Hurts is a winner. There is no doubt about it, but you also have to hear the noise that is coming from their own building. And it's not like everybody's making stuff up. There are issues there offensively. Saquon, you got Lane Johnson's out. Normally it's quarterback wins-loss record. You can go right tackle wins-loss. Look at the Eagles' record when he plays and when he doesn't. It's substantial. He's out for 4 weeks. Not getting that 1 seed.
You just went right tackle wins-loss record?
Well, go ahead and look at it.
How many years did you play in the NFL?
Self-service.
I played 11. No, it's not.
And what position did you play?
I played right tackle, but I'm going to tell you this. They won a Super Bowl with me on IR. So
because
it's not very nice, Evan. You're supposed to be a nice guy. I think Philadelphia is vulnerable. They can beat anybody, but you just feel like on offense, if they have a bad day on defense, even a couple of bad series, they're very vulnerable. I think right now everybody looks at how the Rams are approaching it. They're probably the favorite, but even with the Rams, I think there's question marks. Can their receivers stay healthy? There's other things that are in play. But Philadelphia, I think, needs that 1 seed as bad as anybody needs it.
I thought you were going to talk about our Green Bay Packers because they could lose to anybody.
Yeah.
They can lose to anybody. What's going on there, Tash?
But they also have, I think, when you look at the highest ceiling, when they have played their best in their segments, their defense is championship caliber.
Yeah.
Offense is way too inconsistent.
Wait, pause that thought. Let's continue this. What we're going to do is we're going to have more with Mark Tauscher. Of course, played 11 years in the NFL, Green Bay Packers, Wisconsin, our teammate here at ESPN Radio. You hear him a lot of times on Sundays. Wilde and Tausch, ESPN Wisconsin. We'll have Best Bet and then more with Tausch coming up. But first, I want to tell everybody about Midas Tire Care. Shouldn't come with extra costs or surprise fees. It should be simple, straightforward, and stress-free. So at Midas, they're rolling out the limited lifetime tire guarantee. Included with every tire purchase, paid installation, you'll pay nothing for flat repairs, nada for flat replacements, zilch for tire rotations every 5,000 miles, and zero for other preventative maintenance. So with this limited lifetime tire guarantee, you'll pay a whole lot of nothing compared to what the other guys charge for tire care. That's the limited lifetime tire guarantee, only at Midas.
Hey, this is Rich Eisen. Coming up on Friday's show, my buddy from NFL Network, insider Tom Pelissero's got the whole skinny heading into the bulk of Week 12. The actor Jake Lacey is in studio, plus what's more likely? That's Friday on The Rich Eisen Show on Disney+, the ESPN app, and ESPN Radio.
This is Marshawn Beast Mode Lynch, and Prize Pick is making sports season even more fun. On Prize Picks, whether you're a football fan, a basketball fan, or a fan of both like me, it always feels good to be right. On Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app.
Download the Prize Picks app today and use code OT to get $50 instantly in site credits after you play your first $5. That's code OT to get $50 in site credits after you play your first $5. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Quick break. Want to make a big play on your next paint project? Go with Behr Marquee Interior Paint and Primer. Only at the Home Depot. With over 1,000 colors, exceptional hide, and advanced stain blocking, Behr Marquee is built to stand up to real life. No do-overs, no wasted weekends. Just bold color and a finish that holds strong. One coat coverage, no overtime. Behr Marquee. Only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Valid only when tinted to colors from the Behr Marquee Interior One Coat Hide Collection.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a pepper thing.
You ever wake up with a sore throat, feeling a little off, and you know you're getting sick? Well, getting sick and going on the IL isn't an option, especially for me when I'm traveling for work. You can try to see a doctor, well, good luck there, or go sit for hours in an urgent care. Nope. That's why you need a medical emergency kit. This isn't some cheap first aid kit, okay? Your medical emergency kit comes packed with doctor-prescribed meds. It's like having an urgent care and a pharmacy right there in your home. If you're coming down with the flu, bam, here's your Z-Pack. You've got gastrointestinal issues, here's your Bactrim. From Z-Pack to ivermectin, amoxicillin, and doxycycline to treat strep, pneumonia, sinus infections, UTIs, COVID, and more. It's all right there in your kit. Just match your symptoms to the guide or talk with their telehealth doc. No doctor waiting rooms, no pharmacy lines. Order online in minutes and get $50 off with the code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. Get yours now at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. Use the promo code SMALLS.
Just like in sports, businesses succeed when you add the right free agent. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters experience, combined with their award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Learn more at roberthalf.com/talent.
Lids is your home for the best NBA gear this holiday season. From New Era and Mitchell & Ness, get the latest caps, jerseys, and tees, including the NBA City Edition collection. Shopping for yourself or someone else? Stop by the Custom Zone to add a personal touch. Text NBA to 29017 to sign up for text messaging and receive a coupon for 20% off your next in-store headwear or apparel purchase. Exclusions and message and data rates apply. See a Lids teammate for details.
Time to win some money.
Canty's best bet
Chasing that bag, y'all.
of the night.
All right, it's time. We're rolling with Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns on the road against the Las Vegas Raiders. We're going to bet them straight up on the money line. It's plus 165, so $100 to make $165. That is the play of the day.
On Sports Tonight here on ESPN Radio. We are live at ESPN Madison in Wisconsin, Illinois. Smalls' team, my team, tomorrow will be at the game. CC on Baby Watch in New York. And Mark Tauscher, ESPN Wisconsin, former Green Bay Packer, spent a decade plus with the Packers from Wisconsin, played at Wisconsin in studio. Wilde and Tauscher, ESPN Wisconsin. We left off, and our teammate here on ESPN Radio, you hear him nationally all the time. We left off talking about your former squad, the Packers. For context, you played with Favre and you played with Rodgers, won a Super Bowl, didn't play with Love, didn't play for LaFleur, but know this organization inside and out, Packers Hall of Famer. You said the high and the low of this team, that you think that there is a gap. Why?
Inconsistency on offense. And I think people like to look at Jordan Love and say, well, has he made some mistakes? His stat line is phenomenal this season. If you look at it, it's good. Now, are there times when he's made a couple of critical errors? Yes. But for the most part, I think Jordan has done a pretty good job. I think the inconsistency comes from the wide receiver position, and then obviously Tucker Kraft being hurt, how they're going to end up filling that void. We have not found the answer to that yet. I think we hope that Matthew Golden will fill that as the first-round pick, come in. Jaden Reed needs to get back and healthy. He's been dealing with a collarbone. He's been out 8 or 9 weeks. But the offense has just not found its rhythm. Outside of the Pittsburgh second half, you haven't seen the rhythm offensively that you would expect from this offense with Matt LaFleur.
Tausch, who has more pressure to fix it? Is it Matt LaFleur or Jordan Love?
I think it's Matt LaFleur. Jordan Love, obviously, I think last week, I thought he played one of his better games. He was able to get out. He got hurt. He was able to come back in, and his stat line wasn't phenomenal, but I want to say there were 7 or 8 drops that were a part of that. So Matt LaFleur has got to try and figure out. We have not seen the big plays. You haven't done the play-action game to the way that I think you expect with a running back like Josh Jacobs, and nothing feels like it's kind of in rhythm. Finding that rhythm and getting it, we saw it, but we've only seen it in chunks. We haven't seen it for a full game. I think Matt LaFleur's got to kind of figure out who he can trust, where he can go when the money's on the table, and I think Jordan Love will deliver when you do that.
But you definitely trust that defense, and that defense is going to put you in a position to win games. But how much longer can they go with the defense being the thing that carries them? Is it something that can sustain them to the playoffs if the offense does not find their way?
Absolutely, and I heard you guys talking earlier this morning. You're starting to say, franchise quarterbacks are still vitally important. I want to make sure that's crystal clear, but I don't know which one of the three of you.
Me.
Was it you?
It was me.
You don't even know what he's about to say.
Great
yes, I
point,
do. He's
Smalls.
saying that with Allen, Burrow, Mahomes, and Lamar potentially out of the
missing the playoffs.
We're seeing defenses and head coaches step up.
What a great point by Smalls. Kudos to you. And I think defense and coaching are going to be your big separators. Now, if you have that quarterback playing at a high level, if Matthew Stafford or Jordan Love or somebody elevates and has one of those games, that's obviously going to be huge. But this is the first time in a while that you're seeing vulnerability with teams. You could pretty much pencil in, okay, Mahomes going to be in the playoffs, Lamar's going to be in the playoffs, Josh Allen's going to be in, Burrow's going to be in the playoffs. Well, that formula, at least for this season, doesn't seem to be certain. And I think that's intriguing.
Tash, your former quarterback has a good shot at making the playoffs, somebody you spent a lot of time with on and off the field over the years in Aaron Rodgers. How do you take what's happening right now in Pittsburgh, both in terms of his season to date and what he's saying about his health?
Well, I think he obviously is going to do everything he can. It's the Bears, but also this is probably his last rodeo, and I think he is going to do everything in his power to find a way to get out there. Busted wrist, whatever he is dealing with. You saw him play with a torn calf. He came back with a busted fibula against the Bears in that one game. I don't know what he was all on, but he came back out of the tunnel, led him back, and beat him down 20-0 at half. I think he sees this as his last run. He sees the Pittsburgh Steelers as a team that can go and win their division. And once you get in, especially when you start talking about maybe Kansas City not being part of it, a young quarterback. Right now you're looking at quarterbacks. Drake May's been phenomenal, but a young quarterback in the playoffs, Mike Tomlin-led defense, I think you can start seeing a path. If you can get in as a division winner, I think you can start seeing a path that maybe with a veteran quarterback and a defense that can, if the defense plays like it has in some games, not in others, I think he can maybe see there's an outside chance if he can find a way to win that division.
Josh, since we're talking about dominant defenses, we got to talk about what we saw from the Houston Texans last night. They took it to Josh Allen, sacking him a career most 8 times. I'm curious from your perspective, which one stands out more in your mind? Are you more concerned with what you saw from the Buffalo Bills or more optimistic about what you saw from the Houston Texans?
Concerned about the Bills. I don't understand this, Canty. You're getting your lunch eaten. And you don't chip, you don't leave a tight end, you don't put a back. Like, at some point, you have to just say, we're on the road, and we're not protecting our stuff. You have to give Josh Allen an opportunity to make plays. And part of it is Buffalo doesn't have a game wrecker. They don't have anybody that can get open. And when you have that, you're holding the ball, and then you start pressing, and your O-line starts pressing. So I think Buffalo's in big trouble. I thought when they lost to New England at home, that was the first real sign, like, uh-oh. And now I think they're in real big trouble. There's a chance that this team doesn't even make the playoffs.
Tausch, let's talk about the Chicago Bears. They have a very interesting schedule remaining. Steelers, Eagles, Packers, Browns, Packers, 49ers close it out with the Lions. But they're sitting there now at 7-3. Caleb Williams, week to week, is showing incremental improvement. How legit are the Chicago Bears?
You have to give them a ton of credit because they've won games. They've found a way. They've turned it around. I think their coach has done a great job with Caleb Williams. But I think I just think this is still going to be Detroit or Green Bay. The schedule that the Bears have, again, confidence is a heck of a deal in the NFL. When you find ways to win these games, you think you're going to win every close game. And when you lose close games, you have people that will start doubting whether you'll win the close games. The Chicago Bears are feeling themselves right now. They have some big tests ahead of them, and if they can win a few of them, all of a sudden they're going to believe they can win all of them. And right now, you're looking at it and saying, you know what? That we are the top of the division. Nobody thought we would be in this position. Let's keep riding that out. They're getting some guys back on the defensive side of the football that have been injured. So the Bears are a legit threat, but I think that schedule is going to be a huge test for them.
Mark Tauscher, ESPN Wisconsin, color analyst on the Badgers broadcast alongside
What's your bet? I didn't hear. What's the bet for you two?
The loser has to wear the other team's helmet for an hour on the show.
Okay.
Coming up ASAP, I guess, as soon as we get helmets.
Don't worry. I'm in touch with Illinois regularly. I'll make sure that that's on the way.
So you're going to have to make sure that that's on the way if we win tomorrow.
I think I feel good.
You have a helmet?
Yeah, I got an old helmet.
Oh, yes, you have to wear an old, dirty Tausch helmet. That's great.
Yeah, it's not been washed. Yeah, it's not been washed.
Oh, so gross.
And actually, there's some old Buckeye stickers on it from the, not to be a humble brag, but from the Shrine Bowl. I took, no big deal. 7th-round pick, Canty. You know how that goes.
Wow. No, he doesn't.
I know he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
I'm well aware he doesn't.
He was a 4th-rounder. Thank you to everybody here in Wisconsin and Madison, ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Madison. We so appreciate it. Awesome time. We are on to Monday Clinton and Friends coming up next. It's Unsportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. Like on October 2nd, 1993, when the University of California faced a 30-0 halftime deficit to Oregon. Cal went on a remarkable 42-11 run in the second half to capture a 42-41 victory, one of the largest comebacks in college football history.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Running a business? You know that slow phone systems and missed messages cost you opportunities. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, is the #1 business phone system that streamlines communication, helps teams collaborate seamlessly, and respond to customers 24/7 with their AI agent. Join over 90,000 businesses using Quo. Try it free, then get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/ESPN, QUO.com/ESPN. They'll even port your existing numbers for free. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers.
Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has saved users over $2.5 billion, and their 10 million members save up to $740 a year when they use all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money at rocketmoney.com/gameday. rocketmoney.com/gameday.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You play for the win, not just on game day, every day. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
I like things my way. My coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the Vivgard Hytrulo prefilled syringe, which contains Efgartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VivgardMyWay.com. That's VYVGART myway.com. And talk to your doctor about Vivgard Hytrulo. Brought to you by Argenix.
Want to win this holiday season? Aura Frames make it effortless, personal, easy, and unforgettable. Upload photos, share videos, and even preload memories before it ships, so your gift feels thoughtful from the moment it's unwrapped. For a limited time, visit auraframes.com and get $45 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frame using promo code SCORE. Don't forget to mention ESPN streaming at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
If you're a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility and your machinery isn't working right, Grainger knows you need to understand what's wrong as soon as possible. So when a conveyor motor falters, Grainger offers diagnostic tools like calibration kits and multimeters to help you identify and fix the problem. With Grainger, you can be confident you have everything you need to keep your facility running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Transmitter is working perfectly. I hear everything clear as a bell.
Clinton Yates always brings the heat.
I can lead a nation with a microphone.
I am pleased to be joined by ESPN's Clinton Yates
with the microphone.
I would imagine most of you have never heard of Clinton Yates. He's irrelevant.
This is my new favorite show.
We welcome in Clinton Yates. Clinton, I've mentioned this to you before. When I think of people who love the game, I think of you.
That right there is Clinton Yates.
Clinton Yates!
Clinton Yates, incredible job today.
Our pal Clinton Yates. People like Clinton Yates.
Let's first begin by saying good day to my friend Clinton Yates. There's a lot to talk about here.
Clinton, where the hell are you at?
From Studio 5 at LA Live, this is Clinton and Friends on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
It's a rainy Friday in Los Angeles, kiddos. You're listening to Clinton and Friends on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80 as well. If you want to give us a phone call, 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. Devin Kane is on the con. Bubba is on the board. Visor-free Bubba. What's going on here? But other than that, everything is normal. Please tell me that Bubba's getting the visor. Okay, there we go. I was going to say, we're all out of sorts here. Got the blue visor because for the Cowboys, per usual. Before we get into the meat of the show today is a travel day for your boy. Headed to Vegas this afternoon. Headed there to cover the Browns versus Raiders game at Allegiant Stadium. It's raining like crazy today. So much so to the point that I broke out the camera to do a TikTok, which every Star Wars fan does, of Obi-Wan. I have made contact with the ambassador of Camino. Prime Minister, rather. Anyway, if you know that, you know that. Shouts to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Anyway, the point is that it's been raining like crazy in Los Angeles for like a week straight.
It's just not a good situation. It's cold, it's wet, it's annoying, things are flooding, blah, blah, blah. There could be some issues getting out. Now, again, I do not complain about the job that I do. I simply describe what happens. And every once in a while, there are hurdles that are involved with travel. Now, I'm going to Las Vegas. The other thing happening in Las Vegas this weekend is the 2025 Las Vegas Grand Prix. Now, it'll be broadcast on ESPN. The main race is scheduled for Saturday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Let me explain something to you in no uncertain words. The Las Vegas Grand Prix is a legitimate logistical nightmare on the ground in Las Vegas. If you've never been to Vegas and you've never been to the Strip, here's how it works. The way that the pedestrian setup is that everything is designed so that the cars can just go down the Strip and pull in as they need to the different casinos and hotels. Therefore, if you're walking, oftentimes you cannot walk simply in a straight line down the street. You have to walk, you have to go to a crosswalk, which involves going up an escalator or stairs, across a walkway, down again, and then this is how you matriculate yourself down the street. Now, when F1 gets there, they change all of that. There's fences up. You can't really see stuff. It genuinely affects the Vegas experience. So while the race might be one thing, Devin, the experience on the ground there is another, because they also block off the vision on these walkways because they don't want people stopping and getting a free look at the race cars. It has been complained about by casinos forever. And by forever, I mean the last 3 years or whatever it's been there. It is a really fascinating kind of urban tale, but the point is that we will be dealing with this for certain this weekend.
So, obviously you'll be in Vegas covering the Browns-Raiders game. Are you, what's the strategy for you? Now you have this information. Is there a strategy?
I pulled a curveball because a bunch of the team from Anscape is going. They're staying at one hotel. I was like, I'm staying at the hotel closest to the stadium. I'm staying at MGM Grand. I'm not putting myself in a position where I can't straight up walk to and fro to the Roomba, as I like to call it, because otherwise that's just not going to fly. Also, you know what they have at MGM Grand? One of my favorite sort of situations food-wise in the world? They have an Eataly at MGM
love
Grand.
that.
Do you like an Eataly?
Yeah, of course.
Bubba, you like an Eataly? I feel like you may not be a big Eataly guy.
I don't even know what that means.
Eataly is Mario Batali's sort of how do I describe it? Market, restaurant group situation. I don't really know, but it's not exactly high end, but it's upscale Italian. But there's different types of restaurants that you can sample from. Really nice. There's one here.
I certainly enjoy Italian. So.
Century City Mall. You might enjoy it. I don't know if they'd let you in a visor, but it's still a pretty nice setup. So that is at where I'm staying, and hopefully I can avoid
Clinton,
some of the yes.
There is let me ask you a question, and it will relate back to Vegas. Are you a fan of The Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
The Wizard of Oz,
I think I know where you're going with this.
Is playing at the Sphere.
Really?
Yes, Saturday, a little 11:30 a.m. show. Maybe that could be a little Clinton. Yeah, get some tickets to the Wizard of Oz. Have you ever been to the Sphere?
My friend went to that,
As
and
a
he
Sphere
told
veteran,
me,
I highly recommend it.
Yeah, and they do. I've heard a lot about it. People dress up in costumes. That could be the move. Excellent call, Devin. Excellent call, man. Now I'm thinking about that because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the rest of my time.
Yeah.
I was thinking about getting tickets to a parody burlesque show called The Empire Strips Back. If you've never heard of that, it's apparently very funny. As, again, sticking with Star Wars theme, but Wizard of Oz at the Sphere could be the move. Excellent call. By the way, the 2025 Las Vegas Grand Prix will be broadcast on ESPN. The main race is scheduled for Saturday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. By the way, if you don't know about it, the Strip Circuit's a 3.8-mile street circuit featuring 17 corners. It runs counterclockwise. You can see all the famous stuff along the route. Bellagio, the Venetian, Caesar's Palace, and the Eiffel Towers at Paris, Las Vegas. But I'm telling you, if you're walking or if you're on the ground, sort out your route because there will be some hurdles. Be a part of Clinton and Friends on the Dr. Pepper call-in line. Call us at 888-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. ESPN Nation is brought to you by Dr. Pepper. It's not college football season without the delicious taste of an ice cold with Dr. Pepper. College football, it's a pepper thing.
We're not parsing words, hiding from the headlines,
Extra, extra, read all about it.
or saving the best for later.
I can't wait.
It's time for The Lead.
Talk about burying the lead.
On Clinton and Friends.
Well. Earlier this week, when our great friend, number one draft pick, in the CNF bunk draft, Courtney Cronin came on the program. We discussed the return to the Lakers of one LeBron Raymond James. There was the thought of, hey, this might be a little bit difficult. Planet LeBron re-entering the atmosphere. The Lakers were 10-4 at that point. They were clicking. Guys were figuring out their roles. And you thought to yourself, hey, if the podcast partner and best player of all time of head coach J.J. Redick is coming back to this team at a time where they're really rocking and rolling, could be tough. You don't know. Courtney Cronin went as far as to say is she doesn't like the move at all, and they get worse with him. Okay. I said, could be an issue. We'll see how this goes. This gets put up on our socials. The next day, we remember, we were there. He has the greatest double-double in the history of American sports against the robust Utah Jazz. I'm kidding. And they win the game. Everybody gets on us. Well, look at this. Told you everything's going to be fine in Lakerland. Human beings who listen to this show were calling and screaming at me. I'm not going to name names because I don't want to hurt Walrus and Encino's feelings, telling me that all was going to be better and everything was going to work out. You should have known they were going to handle this just fine. Blah, 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 yakety schmackety. Devin. The return of LeBron James went so well for the Lakers. 2 days later, they fired the entire front office. Oh! Not quite the bastion of stability you might have thought, Lakers fans. Are they directly correlated? Not necessarily. But the timing's pretty funny. The timing is, in fact, hilarious. So let us review the last 6 months of what I've been getting from Laker fans. Not a real Laker. Should trade him in the offseason. Look at him fitting in with the offense. How dare you question who we are? Block, bust, brother.